Any training program on corporate governance starts off with discussion on the rules of director fiduciary duties. The first and most apparent is the duty of care. This is fairly easy to describe. Essentially, don't fall asleep during the board meetings. But the other fiduciary duty, the duty of loyalty, is more difficult to put into a quick definition. This is the director's duty to place the interests of the corporate entity above personal gain, above outside lobbying, or loyalties to management. Duties of care cover sins of omission, while those of loyalty are sins of commission. Which is worse depends on whether you would rather be called a fool or a scoundrel. Now, while some duty of loyalty calls are fairly straightforward, trading on insider information, bad thing. Others are more complex. What's the line between a pay plan that assures your top talent will stay in place versus being a giveaway to the CEO? Or when the corporation is in or even near bankruptcy, legal duties of loyalty shift radically, and the board has new masters, even for straightforward business decisions. The director's duty of loyalty has faced some rethinking with investor activists placing their own candidates on the board. There's this widespread view that once an unhappy investor negotiates his people into the boardroom, they become a solid block helping him storm the gates. But in fact, outsiders are just as likely to go rogue on their own masters. We've seen this happen in the long proxy battle between Alcoa spinoff Arconic and Elliott Management. Elliott's been pushing for major changes at Arconic and is negotiating to add its own board nominees to this year's slate. Will this turn the tide? Maybe, but maybe not. Last year, Elliott suggested 3 directors for the Arconic board, and these guys were elected. But this year, they're supporting management's board slate. There are any number of other examples where hostile board nominees made it into the boardroom and either went native or rethought their fiduciary duties, depending on where you stood. All board nominees are required to be independent as soon as they're seated, and that's a good thing. It means that in a time of political and business turmoil, we can know that corporate board members are some people who still take their fiduciary duty of loyalty seriously. I'm Ralph Ward from the Boardroom for June.